Yo, what is up everybody? It is your boy Undead Strix here, back at it again with another video. Alright, as y'all can see, today's video is going to be what if Deku had Gojo's powers part 2. If y'all do enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below about what y'all thought about this video. With all of that said and done, let's get into the video. In the last part, we left off right after the quirk exam, well, the quirk test, right after the actual first of the day. And obviously Deku had completely obliterated everyone after him telling everyone he didn't want to do this, so he didn't have to piss everyone off. But Todoroki, just being him, said he wanted Deku to join in just to see exactly what all this hype was about. But obviously seeing that was the best way to believe it, so he figured out what kind of timing Deku's on. Eventually, Deku would go home after completely obliterating everyone else, which is on the UA campus, of course. So he would just go chill, deal with All Might later on, and just talking to All Might for the most part, because obviously he's not getting one for all. If I gave it to him in the last part, that's retconned now. He's not getting one for all. But I'm not going to say who gets one for all in this part, because I want y'all to choose who gets one for all. Anyone but Mirio, tell me, and I will give it to them in the next part, which will be the final part of the series. So I'll just leave it out for now, because I'm just going to say that no one has one for all until at least the end of this part, and I'll just leave it on a cliffhanger so y'all could choose exactly who gets it. But yeah, so he's chilling at home with All Might, just talking about one for all and everything, because he already knows it exists. And he's just talking to All Might about all of that, and they're just talking about all the plans that they're doing, and then he's just chilling out with all the other 30 years. He's chilling out with Mirio and the other big three of UA, because they all know him. They've known him for years, and he just hangs out with them because he's technically like family to them, a little brother in a kind of sense of the word. So they all know him, and they don't all like just chill around with him for the most part. They don't really care when he's around, because like he's just like a little brother to them. He's stronger than them, but like they all understand that he's just there as like the cool kid, that small like little brother figure. But he's just chilling, as a few days later they would be like class 1A would return, get into class, as All Might would just jump into the room going, "I am here," as Deku would just say, "Hey All Might," as everyone's just like looking back at Deku, and he's just like, they're just like, "Why are you being so cool with All Might?" As like All Might's just like, "Y'all didn't know? We know each other. He's lived on UA for years. Why wouldn't I know him? He knows almost every pro hero in Japan that actively comes to UA. He lives on campus." As everyone's like, "We knew he lived on campus, but we didn't know who we knew." As Deku was like, "Obviously I know All Might. Me and him go way back. We've known each other for years. Like, don't really matter too much." But everyone's just like, "What kind of kid is this?" Says All Might's just like, "Okay, today we're gonna be doing a hero versus villains," and he's just like, "Midoriya, you could sit this one out." As everyone's just like, "We really doing this again?" As Deku's just like, "Is there really a point of me joining this hero versus villains? The only way that this could be fair is if it was all of you against me, and even then I still win. So I don't see the point of putting in that much effort on something that I could just completely obliterate you with. And because just so you know, you haven't seen all of my true powers. I learn about new-ish abilities every once in a while, and there's a reason my quirk is called Limitless. I don't know the limit to my potential. So I wouldn't suggest you trying to test me when I get a little annoyed." As they're just like, "You're cocky, aren't you much?" As Deku's like, "Not cocky. I know how strong I am. There's no point in me pissing myself off just dealing with all of you weaklings." As everyone's just like, "Okay, you really think that you can beat the entire class?" And Deku's like, "I know I can, without any problems." As they're just like, "Okay, let's do this." As All Might's just like, "All right, Deku, you'll be the villain. Everyone else, heroes. Just try to touch the bomb. I don't care if you do anything else. Try to touch the bomb. I don't care how. Do whatever you feel like." just try to touch. As they would all start getting ready, and Deku would quite literally say, I'm not going inside the building, I'll be right outside. I'll just lay down. As they're all just like, ain't no way he's not going to bother attacking us. As everyone starts and comes in all at the same time, but he's already turned infinity on to an exact radius around him and the entire actual bomb, and that no one can get past it. It's completely done on all sides. There's no way past it. So everyone's just like, bro, what the heck? Like, what are we supposed to be doing here? As All Might said, this is why we didn't want him in. You can't win. Even I couldn't beat this kid. Do you really think that you could? And everyone's just like, you can't beat him? And like, All Might's like, yeah, I can't beat him. I've tried. It's not possible. As Deku's just like, told you, if y'all want to give up, y'all can, because this is just me doing the bare minimum. If I wanted to attack, I could, and I could honestly hospitalize almost all of you, but I don't feel like hospitalizing any of you, because you could be good heroes later on, but if I did what I could do, I'd hospitalize you all within less than a second. As All Might just like, you talking about that, aren't you? As Deku's just like, yeah, but I'll only use that on villains that actively need it. As All Might's just like, even then, don't use it for too long, or at least don't do the full extent of it, because that will traumatize and almost do a lot to people that I don't think you should really be bothering with. As Deku's just like, yeah, you're probably right, but yeah, we'll see. So they're just really chilling, doing whatever they feel like. It doesn't really matter at this point, but they're all just trying to attack. Eventually they would give up because they figured out it ain't going to work. Deku would eventually just turn off the actual infinity just so they can get closer. But even then, he would still be pissing everybody off, just doing all the other things, because he's just fighting them. He still has amazing combat skills. He's been at UA for years training. He actually knows how to fight. He trains in sparring sessions with everything, like everyone else, and he actively knows how to perfectly use his quirk. Obviously, with all the abilities that he's gained, so he knows exactly what he's doing all times. Like every single time, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to use his quirk. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. So it's never really a problem about if he knows what he's doing or anything like that. He knows what he's doing. But yeah, so they would eventually give up. Deku would be considered the winner, and they would eventually go to the USJ a few days later. All Might would just say, Deku, you gonna be there? And Deku's just like, yeah, alright. And All Might's just like, alright, I got some things I need to do. You could be in charge if Aizawa falls asleep. And everyone's just like, a student's in charge, and All Might's like, y'all lost to him. Y'all really want to be complaining about having the strongest kid on the premises be the one in charge if anything goes wrong? Bakugo's just like, yeah, let's not do that. I've known him long enough. Let's just leave it alone. As everyone's just like, alright, yeah, okay. As eventually they would get to the USJ. They would walk in, the villains completely ready to go. Everyone would get transported everywhere. Deku wouldn't get moved because he would have noticed it almost immediately and just jumped out the way. While everyone's dealing with everything else, Deku's just walking down, dealing with all of the actual bigger threats. Shigaraki, like everyone else, he's just dealing with all the normal, not even a problem. He just literally just starts eating it left and right, blue, red, purple, just rinsing, repeating, pulling, pushing, up, down, left, right. It don't matter which direction it's getting pulled into. It's just going to get pulled into a direction. It's just getting annoying in all facts and fears of all of it. So they're just getting annoyed. As eventually Shigaraki's just like, what is going on? Why are you so strong? This isn't fair. You're cheating. And he's just getting annoyed and getting annoyed. As Deku just looks at Shigaraki, walks up to him. He quite literally, because he could just use his infinity on whatever he feels like. So he grabs Shigaraki using infinity, but he's technically not touching Shigaraki because he's using just enough infinity, since he doesn't know what Shigaraki's quirk is. Because like this isn't like Aizawa hasn't been injured yet. He would, like Deku was the first one, so he's smart enough that if he doesn't know what their quirk is, he never actively physically touches anyone. So he would just grab his head, because like he's putting in enough force that he can still grab someone. But it's like to the point that Shigaraki's trying to touch him, but obviously you can't completely touch him, so he's not getting injured at all. As Deku would just look at Shigaraki and just say, "Don't worry, you should heal from this pretty soon. I'm not going to use full force. I'm not even going to use a tenth of it. I just need you out of commission so you could leave, because I'm annoyed." As he would turn on his domain expansion, and Shigaraki, seeing the actual infinite void, would be dumbstruck. He would not know what's going on, and he would just be completely confused in all points of the name. He don't know what's going on, but he knows everything and nothing at the same time. He would come out of the infinite void just completely on his knees, as he would just be completely then yeeted out, because he can't do anything. Like Katakiri just takes him out. Well, Katakuri, whatever, takes him out. Just he's out of commission. There's nothing they can do, so they leave. They go away and do everything that they ever could have pleased to. Deku's like, we should probably figure out who that was, because he probably will come back. As everyone's just like, Deku goes to check up on everyone, all the other villains that are still around, Deku takes out with ease. As I would just watch this all happen, Deku completely deal with the Nomu so much faster, and All Might eventually would get there, just seeing what's going on, and he's just like, Deku took care of it. Like, as I was just like, yeah, he took care of all the other villains around here as well, and everyone was just like, anyone that was there watching it just completely dumbstruck about what Deku just did. And everyone else that saw Deku take care of all the other villains around were still completely starstruck that he's not an actual pro hero yet. As everyone's just like, he's strong, he's smart, like what is going on here? Why is he so strong? No one understands it, but they all just leave it alone. As obviously, since no one was really impacted too much about this, they wouldn't really take a break from school for the most part, because like it wasn't really too much of a big deal. Deku took care of it, and they would go back to school as normal the next day, and eventually a few days later we would get to the sports festival. Deku would actually be prohibited from doing this, like completely prohibited from entering the sports festival. Everyone already understands that he's too strong for his own good, so it's not fair if he's just gonna win. So he's like, alright, I'll just sit back and watch. As the school says that one of the students of UA has been completely prohibited from entering the sports festival for the safety of the other students, and for the sheer fact that he will win if he entered. As everyone's just like, who are they possibly talking about? And they would say his name just so everyone understands who he was, and everyone understands this. And obviously people are confused and just like wondering why this kid's not getting it, like allowed to be in, but they can't really do anything, so they just leave it alone. As I'm telling you, they like at that same time about the sports festival's about to start, this is exactly when All Might would give someone one for all. He's saying, alright, the sports festival's about to start, you should be able to digest it pretty quickly, so let's get you one for all now. Deku's been talking to this person about one for all for the past like few days, ever since the actual USJ, and he's just like, alright, I think you should be the perfect choice for one for all. We've been discussing it, and I think that you should probably take it. as obviously I'm not saying an exact name because I want y'all to be the ones to decide who gets One For All. So put it down in the comments. But with all of that said, this is going to be the end of the video. If y'all enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and obviously comment down below who should get One For All or anything else like that. Also hit that notification bell if y'all want to get caught up with all of my videos. I post a new video every single day for at least the first month that this channel is active, and then after that we'll completely reevaluate the actual schedule and figure out exactly how we'll get on from there. But with all of that said, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.